Hello everyone and welcome back to another MicroStrategy stock planning update video. Now, before we get started, I want to talk about the current fluctuations and high volume that this stock is seeing, just like a few other stocks that have a high influence by Bitcoin. But we all know that Bitcoin recently, and I'm going to show you guys that chart real quick before we jump into the breakdown of MicroStrategy. We all know Bitcoin has had a massive um, $10,000 drop, and it's trying to work its way back up at the moment. But with that being said, of course, during times of high fluctuation, high volume, correlation between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy becomes even stronger. So it's as simple as of course you all know recently Michael Saylor has revealed that he has at least $1 billion of his own capital invested into Bitcoin um, privately, and then MicroStrategy is also looking to continue, of course, evolving with Bitcoin. And when you have a company, just like for example Marathon Digital Holdings, when you have a company that's so highly involved in an asset and that underlining asset is pretty much flat and not doing anything for some time, it becomes boring. You know, there's a lot of news articles that are coming out trying to either say how boring it is or how there's some stuff working in the background and they're trying to hype up certain assets. But when an underlying asset is not moving at all, they're you know the more of the background you know um, parts of a company begin to show, and stocks start trading more in line with that company and what they're really doing, and then other things shine and that takes over you know takes over, and the stock starts to trade a little bit more how it's meant to be traded, because the underlying operations of the company begin to show. But times of high fluctuation, high volume, like we see right now with Bitcoin and MicroStrategy and some other crypto-related assets out there, publicly traded assets. Once volume kicks in, because there's a lot of hype, there's a big fluctuation, like Bitcoin recently fell down a lot. This is both positive and negative if you are someone, for example, like me, that is looking at a lot of these tickers as a way to, make short-term fluctuative plays on Bitcoin, just to try to capitalize on the short-term movement as value gaps begin to fill and then expand from there. So we recently had some value gaps fill, like for example with this low right here, and then we were trying to wait and see if we were going to start recovering higher, if we're going to, or if this support was going to break. Obviously, it's broken, but basically, what I'm trying to say is that times of high volume, high fluctuations, the correlation between one asset and the underlying asset that they are trying to focus on becomes even like stronger. So at that point, once the underlying asset begins to fluctuate in any way, when there's so much attention, so much, high correlation going on, then we tend to see, uh, Bitcoin um, influence MicroStrategy a lot more aggressively than it would during times of low volume, where kind of like the people aren't too excited because it's boring at the moment. But when things are really hyped up, that's when you see that a really aggressive correlation kick in, and then you start seeing um, more clear fluctuations and a lot more clear opportunities to manage your trade as you see fit. So with that out the way, and I hope I made sense, because I feel like I don't make sense a lot of time. But yeah, so let's actually start here. So I recently, if you guys look at my last MicroStrategy video, the chart looks much different. What I tried doing was I tried removing some things and reorganizing by adding some some new things to look at to better understand the chart, because we did have some break of structure recently. It was of course on the downside, but I wanted to, you know, give you guys a fresh chart to look at in a way where I can, better illustrate what's going on right now. So I kept the third wave the same, or the overall third wave the same right here, and then if you look at the very conservative all-time high for the stock during this bull market cycle is in this area right here. So, excuse me. I believe MicroStrategy had a stock split. Oh no, I think it happens tomorrow. I think tomorrow MicroStrategy is going to have a stock split, 10-1, so we'll see how that goes. But right now, pre-stock split, we can see my estimate all-time highs for this bull cycle to be somewhere around $3,000. Again, that's my estimate for the bull market crypto cycle. Either way, third wave, I'm going to keep it here. We're still trying to confirm the fourth wave, and then the fifth wave can bring us up into this green area up here. So to better, so we're actually going to jump into the what I have here, all these colorful numbers and letters. So within this corrective fourth wave structure, every move is going to have just like the overall wave, where corrective moves are 3 wave patterns, and then the corrective bullish move for the overall bearish move is also going to be a 5 wave pattern, just like its bigger brothers, and on the bigger picture of this chart. So what I mean by that is that this third wave coming down to the first, so it's like this. It's going to be a first, second, and then a third wave is currently unfolding. So what that looks like is we have the first wave is the first overshooting B wave, and then finishing off with a third wave. So first, second, third. Now we have 5 waves trying to go up. So what that means is that we have a first, second, third. Then we come over here to an extended fourth wave, and then a fifth wave, which topped out right around here. And actually, we're going to, yeah, you can either say it topped out here or here. Regardless, it doesn't matter because it still introduces the next move down. It's not something to worry about too much, especially when you're looking at such small time frames. It's really difficult to establish that, but it doesn't matter because the overall picture is here. So we have a first, second, third wave completing the first wave, first, second, third, fourth, fifth completing the second wave, and now we are, so if I come in a little closer here, we have a first, second, which is similar to the first wave where it's overshooting, and then we come down here to the third wave, which potentially bottomed out right here. Now, what the confirmation levels look like is quite simple. We have this retracement area in green, which basically starts from here, coming down to the swing low. And what that introduces is that in order for us to see prices finally make new highs on this time frame here and start trading in this blue area, where we start to finally look at a third wave structure for the overall fifth wave, which again, overall structures are in white, so up here, right here. So it's something like this, where we have a first, second, third, fourth, and then fifth wave up here. Let me just move this more to the right. Now, these don't worry about where these line up. Like this one lines up on September 6th and all that. Like, don't worry about days. This is just to illustrate kind of, levels. We're looking at levels. We're not looking at time, dates, any time horizon. We're just looking at levels up here. So I want to make that very clear. I'm not giving you guys any time estimates. I'm giving you guys level estimates. So what first level confirmation looks like is that we need to see prices sustain and hold in this green area right here. As we can see, prices broke above it, failed to hold, but we can still, throughout the rest of this week, we have 2 more days this week, and then of course we have next week. But regardless of time, we want to see the prices hold in this area, or make a new low to then finally fall further into our ideal. Let me take this off. our ideal support area. Of course, it doesn't have to happen. The support area down here is a way to illustrate how, or to remind us that how low a stock can go. It can go lower. This area down here is established using the start of the of the corrective overall fourth wave structure. So this is just to remind us that to be cautious, we need to see levels of confirmation being filled, so we can better understand, and reassure ourselves of, what the wave structures look like, and then currently what level we're in. Because even though it seems like we might be trading discounted levels, that can very, very quickly change. If you're going too heavy on a stock too soon, you can easily see the price fall down into this yellow color down here. So keep in mind, this is to remind you that, it, until we have our levels of confirmation for bullish structures met, this is to remind you that you're going to be stopped out, and hopefully you have a stop limit order when you're starting to accumulate trades a little too quickly. But first level confirmation is, of course, seeing levels hold in this area right here. And then once prices hold in that area, we can start to add a bit more, accumulate a bit more, and then tighten our stop loss a little bit in case we do have a quick just break of structure downward. But we still want to come in light on this area here. And then once we start breaking over that, next level confirmation will quite simply, of course, be breaking over the next or the previous swing highs. So right here, we want to see prices break over the swing high. Once prices break over the swing high, then that's when we can see a simple value gap being filled, pushing us into this blue area where we can start looking to shave off the majority, pretty much all of our short-term trade positions in MSTR, as we try to find a top where we can quickly start looking for. Once we have that top, we can start looking to start accumulating for the fourth wave. And then what will be a good fourth wave accumulation area, I'll be able to give that to you guys once we have a third wave top in place. But this is quite simple. Again, I'm not trying to overcomplicate or extend this video too much, extend the video, make it too long, but quite simply, reminder that prices can easily fall lower down here. We want to see sustained bullish structures in this bullish momentum, enough buying where we're not being rejected from this green like we got rejected here. We want to see prices hold in that area. Once we do, we can start looking for the previous swing high, and then start looking to unload positions in this blue bullish resistance area up here. So yeah, hopefully this made sense, guys. Overall, this stock obviously looks quite bullish because if you understand the correlation that that stock has with Bitcoin, we all know that Bitcoin is very, very well overdue to finally make new all-time highs. We haven't seen all-time highs since mid-March, basically, just before mid-March. And then, of course, understanding that MicroStrategy is highly influenced by Bitcoin right now, and most likely will be even more highly influenced in the future because I do anticipate they're going to regain an even larger footprint in this space eventually, because the Michael Saylor is extremely bullish. He loves Bitcoin, so I don't see why MicroStrategy is not going to even become a bigger Bitcoin participant in the future. It just doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to me that they do. So Bitcoin is well overdue for finally to start retesting all-time highs again. And what that looks like is, of course, we may already have seen a bottom in this stock, and we're going to start moving higher. But why assume? Why be hopeful? Why not just wait for our levels of confirmation to tell us when it's a good time to continue to add, or when it's a good time to start shaving positions? So obviously we do not have a sustained hold in this area, so I'm just keeping an eye on this chart. I'm just keeping an eye on it. It will tell me when it's a good time to start accumulating. We'll see how this stock performs within the next 2 days. On my social medias and my Discord server, all free, I post I post frequent updates on this stock, more than you are going to see me post it on YouTube. So if you follow me on there, join my Discord, you can see this chart evolve with me as time goes forward. But yeah, guys, again, just to sum things up, the possibility of a one more low scenario is very high because Bitcoin is also trying to establish a low, which means swing lows can be retested quickly. We have not seen a retest of Bitcoin's recent swing low, so we can see that happen. We can easily see this swing low being retested, or even um, it's going to be very unlikely, in my opinion, very, very unlikely, but it's still possible where you can see prices do a quick, super quick retest and then quick recovery out of this area that can hurt short-term long position. So that's why it's so important to just be patient, wait for our confirmation levels to be met, and then I really hope my microphone has battery. Yeah, we're good. Okay, that ran out of battery. So it's as simple as that, guys. Like, it's always good. Just keep an eye on your charts. Don't rush any trades and wait for levels to tell you what to do. But of course, you know, everything in this video is, like I say in every video, it's all my own opinion. Nothing within this video is financial advice. It's just me expressing my opinion, my view on all that I've been talking about in this video. In no means am I telling anyone what to do, but I personally will be waiting for my levels to tell me when to buy and when to sell. So I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care, and keep an eye on these charts.